Kevin Durant thinks the NBA All-Star Weekend should be canceled, and I vehemently disagree. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Street Ball Strategies.
Durant sucks. Ego got a widescreen lens. Fans in the bleachers throwing barbs through the dens. Keyboard warriors is kryptonite tense. He canceled All-Star just to block the offense.
Today I'm continuing my series on NBA Weekend 2025. Last video I talked about NBA All-Star Sunday night. Today we're talking about what Kevin Durant had to say the Monday after All-Star Weekend when he said that I'm paraphrasing when he said, NBA fans are just so miserable. You know, all they do is complain about All-Star Weekend. You know, if we're all so miserable about All-Star Weekend, how about we just cancel All-Star Weekend altogether? So, you know, the poor fans don't have to be miserable anymore. First of all, Kevin Durant is undeniably one of the best players to ever play. There's no doubt about that. There's no taking away from it. There's no disrespect in any of that. One of the best players that has ever played. I'm lucky and fortunate that he's played during my lifetime. I'm happy that I got to see him play. That's first and foremost, and it is most important. However, there's also to say that, to me, Kevin Durant is the personification of what I would consider a stereotypical kind of jock. This year in the NBA, when I complain about how overpaid and spoiled the players is, I've come to the point where I have started describing them simply as being stereotypical jocks. And Kevin Durant falls directly into that category for me. When I say jocks, what I mean is the exact stereotype. Whatever comes to your mind as the stereotypical jock, that's what I mean. I mean that with Kevin Durant. I mean that with most of the NBA and most of the NBA All-Stars, like the superstars. That does not mean that they are by default or inherently bad people. But stereotypes exist for a reason. It's because there are some truths in stereotypes. Jocks are not known for being exceptionally smart or reasonable or rational or compassionate people. Y'all know the stereotype of what a jock is. You know that it's not a good, positive thing if people who are not jocks look at you like you are a jock. Like, if you're a fellow jock, then you probably don't care, or maybe you like the idea of being thought of as a jock, and thus maybe you like Kevin Durant. But to me, he's this stereotypical mindset. His mind, his psychology is that of a typical jock. I don't know him, obviously. I don't have any kind of relationship, never talked to him or anything like that. But the way he's portrayed himself in public gives me the impression that I would not like him. And maybe I'm mistaken by thinking that when he said, let's cancel All-Star Weekend, but let the players keep their All-Star break, like they still get vacation, but the fans don't get All-Star Weekend. Maybe I'm mistaken about that, but that's the way I interpreted it. So that's the way I'm going to assume the rest of this video to go. When I put on social media that I found it preposterous that he would say that, while many people agreed with me, there's always going to be pushback. And the pushback I got was pretty much along the lines of, well, American workers, you know, they get vacation time. Why shouldn't NBA players, Kevin Durant, why shouldn't they get vacation time as well? And my reaction to that, the irrationality there just drove me crazy, because you cannot compare the way the American worker works, their situation, to NBA players. American workers working 40 hours at least a week, 5 days a week at least, getting paid less than they probably earn, and working at a job they probably don't like. Like, that's the typical average American worker, blue-collar worker. You compare that to the average NBA player, right? Let's just start from the money end, right? The median salary for an NBA player, the seventh guy on the bench, the guy that plays 10 minutes a night, he gets paid $5 or $6 million every single year to play 10 minutes a night for probably about 6 months out of the year. They don't play basketball every day. This nowadays generation, they don't even really practice, right? So they maybe play 3 or maybe 4 games of basketball a week. That seventh guy on the bench, that means he plays 30 to 40 minutes of basketball every week competitively. And he gets paid generational wealth every year to do so for 6 months out of the year, and then the other 6 months out of the year, he's just on vacation. You can't compare that to the average American worker. Or you can, but it's completely a stupid argument to try and attempt to make. So what I say is, okay, if there is no All-Star Weekend festivities for the fans anymore, then there's also no more All-Star break for the players. Just the season just goes on as normal. You know, no All-Star break, nothing. It just like February just goes on the way it always has been in December and March. There's no break for anybody. But let's remember, when there is an All-Star weekend, right, it's supposed to be an honor and a privilege to be named to the All-Star team, to be voted in. It's supposed to be an honor. Kevin Durant's making it seem like the All-Stars are somehow victims of being named All-Stars because no matter what they do, the fans are going to complain. So either cancel All-Star altogether, which means no festivities for fans, but also no vacation for the players. Or my solution would be, if I were like the commissioner and all powerful and all that, what I would do is I would make All-Star Week shorter. So it'd be like Friday through Monday with all of the All-Star stuff in the middle. And then say, for instance, the first third and the second third of the season, build it in like the NFL does and give each team a bye week, the first third and second third of the season, and then make All-Star shorter. I think that is a great solution, right? That means we still get All-Star festivities in a smaller time frame, like a break for the players, but then they do get a break 1/3 and 2/3 of the way through the season. That's way more vacation than they get now, and we still get All-Star stuff. But this idea of like, oh, let's just get rid of All-Star altogether, but the players still get their week-long vacation, that doesn't fly with me. That's really all I had to say about Kevin Durant making that statement, if that is the actual statement that he was making. So if you guys found these thoughts interesting, then please subscribe to the channel. But let me know down in the comments what you think. But before you do comment, make sure you hit that thanks button, because not only does hitting that thanks button highlight your comment, but hitting that thanks button also directly supports the channel. So for anyone that does that, know I genuinely appreciate it. As always, like, share, comment like I said. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any video goes live on this channel. And until then, see you guys next week.
Hoops legend, Sherman can't punk the defeat, cloud chasing ghosts, irrational greed, cancel critiques, fame still plants the seed, Katie Duncan egos, crowd can't believe.